Hey guys, DPD here. So a lot of you guys have probably noticed that I've been absent. I haven't been uploading anything on this channel. I haven't been uploading anything on my main channel. I haven't been streaming on Twitch or uploading anything on TikTok and whatever, right? Well, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to keep to myself. I don't usually like talking about my personal life. I mean, I wear a mask to hide my face, right? I don't show my face to the public. My name isn't out there to the public. And so yeah, I tend to be fairly reserved when it comes to just me and my personal life. Why am I talking about this? Well, for those who don't know, I have been diagnosed with testicular cancer. Yeah, it's scary stuff, I've been in and out of hospitals, getting blood tests and all these things. And so with all that said, why am I making this video? Well, I'm hoping that this video could help somebody out there who is going through the same thing that I went through, or might be going through something similar. There's a lot of people out there who are probably scared, who probably don't want to seek help because, you know, like, what's the worst that could happen? Well, you're gonna die. So yeah, I just hope this video could help somebody out there. Yeah, I was scared, you know. Cancer is a pretty scary thing. You hear it on television and movies, and you know, it's that moment in like in an Asian drama where they're like, she has cancer, and like everyone starts crying and they're like, no, you know, it's a serious thing. All right, before I start, you know, for those who didn't know I had cancer, or for those who are, this is the first time finding out, I'm okay now. Okay, I had a procedure and they removed the tumor from my body, and as of right now, I am okay. Let me preface by saying that I'm good right now. Okay, the cancer is out of my body. And then second, let me explain what testicular cancer is. Testicular cancer is basically the cancer of the male reproductive organ, the testicle, which is basically your nuts or your balls, right? You have two of them. Males have two of them. They have two balls, two nuts, you know, and the cancer is basically the cancer of one or both of those. And what usually happens is that there's a strange growth that happens inside of the scrotum, inside of the ball sack or whatever, and it could grow into a tumor, and it could spread throughout the body, and your body gets all cancerous, and yeah, you could die. So I don't know exactly what testicular cancer type it is. I just know it was a stage 2 testicular cancer, and there's all types of different whatever testicular cancers. I forget what it is. I could look online throughout like my health history thingy, but I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, so how did it start? One day I was feeling a terrible pain in my nuts, right? I was like, oh, this feels very uncomfortable. This doesn't feel right. And at first I thought maybe I like slept wrong, or like I like sat on my nuts or something, or just something stupid, right? I thought maybe that was it, so I ignored it. And then the pain started getting worse. What happened was that I noticed my testicle started getting bigger, like it started getting swollen. It didn't feel right. It felt like there was a heavy weight to it, and you know, I still didn't do anything. I thought maybe it was normal, right? For whatever reason, I just ignored it, and it wasn't until it started to hurt a lot, to the point where like I couldn't sit down, right? And so I went to the emergency room. Also, by the way, if this is happening to you, right, please don't go to the emergency room as like on impulse. Check if your insurance will cover emergency room visits, because that stuff could get really expensive. Like I think my friend went to the emergency room for like a fever or like some crazy thing, and she ended up paying like 15 grand. So yes, before you go to the emergency room, make sure the hospital and the emergency room are covered by your insurance. So I'm just, you know, putting that out there. I don't want you to spend 15 grand when you could have just spent like 100 at a regular hospital visit, okay? So anyways, I go to the emergency room. The doctor came in after waiting a bit, and you know, he's like, you know, pull down your pants, let me go feel up your nuts, and let me examine it. And he was like, yeah, this feels very, very weird. And he asked me a couple of questions, like if I was sexually active, if I had any like trauma inflicted on my testicle or whatever it is. And I told him it came out of nowhere. The pain just shot out of nowhere. So he told me that it could be a couple of things. It could be that, you know, it's just some kind of inflammation due to some infection that I got. It could be an STD. It could be testicular torsion, which is when your testicles and the tubes inside get like twisted or whatever. It could cause like a swelling, or it could be some type of tumor or cancer. So to find out, he told me that they're gonna draw some blood for me, and I'd have to take an ultrasound. So the nurse comes in, draws a couple of vials of my blood, and then they take me to the radiology department where I had to go take an ultrasound. So if you were pregnant or know anyone who has been pregnant, they do an ultrasound usually to see how the baby's doing inside your stomach. It's literally the same thing, but for your nuts. They get like this device, and then they cover it with like some jelly, this warm jelly, and then they place it on your balls, and they just like rub your balls, just like this. They're just kind of like rubbing it around, and then you get like an ultrasound photo, a black and white photo of your testicle, and that's what they did to me. And while she was feeling me up with like the device or the instrument or whatever, I was looking on the screen, and they did both my testicles. They did my right one and my left one, and the right one, which is the okay testicle, it looked so much smaller than my left one. The left one was the one with the tumor. It was very, very big, and it was very bumpy, and it looked gross from what I could see on the ultrasound. So yeah, it was bad. But after the ultrasound or whatever, I go back downstairs to the doctor, and he explains to me that they still don't know exactly what it is, and whether or not, they can obviously see from the ultrasound that it looks very abnormal, right? My testicle looks very strange, but they don't want to jump the gun and make any conclusions without being 100% sure that it is a cancer. So what they did was basically, he recommended me to see a urologist, and before I left, he prescribed me some levofloxacin to deal with the pain. It's just some type of like antibiotic I'm supposed to take to lower the pain that I was feeling in my testicle. So the next day, I ended up calling my insurance and basically asked them if they could give me a list of every single urologist within a 25-mile radius, and if they could recommend me like the best ones. I wanted like the best treatment. So I ended up getting a doctor from Keck Hospital of USC, which is in downtown LA. They even have like a cancer hospital like right next door, so I thought it was perfect. So basically, I go to the doctor, and he tells me the same thing the last doctor did. He says, we're not 100% sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure you have testicular cancer. But let's lower the swelling a bit. Let's get the pain to go away, so we could get a more thorough examination before I decide on what to do with your tumor that you may or may not have. And so he gave me a stronger dose of levofloxacin, literally double the dose. My last dose was like 250 milligrams. He gave me like 500 milligrams per pill. So he ended up giving me that. So after visiting neurologists, a couple weeks later, after taking the antibiotic pills, and then after that, and I had to take more blood tests to check my tumor levels, and then another ultrasound test. And after all this, for about a month, they finally told me the news that I was diagnosed with stage 2 testicular cancer, and they recommended that I remove it ASAP. So, I go see the doctor again. He's like, hey, the cancer is, from the first time you visited me to now, the tumor has gotten much bigger. And for you guys curious on how big the tumor was, or how big my testicle was, it was just as big as my fist. So imagine one of my testicles being this big. It was like literally this big, right? And that's like, look, comparison to my head, right? This is how big my testicle was. And they were like, yo, we gotta remove this tumor from your body like ASAP, or else it's, we're afraid that it has already spread, or might have spread, or starting to spread, or if it got into your other testicle, and if it did, you might be infertile, you can't have any children, and any more children, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, yeah, let's remove this from my body. I'd like that. So before the procedure, I had to go take a CT scan, and they had to do it to get like the best scan of my body. They had to like inject me with like this kind of like ink or this dye, and so they put this needle into my vein, right? and they injected me with this like weird dye. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt very warm, and it like my body felt like I was having a fever. And then they put me through this tube looking thingy, and they took photos of my body. Yeah, it felt really weird. Like that dye that they inject you with is like, oh, that made me feel so weird. Yeah, and after the CT scan, I got really hungry because I apparently was not supposed to eat anything prior to that, so they don't scan any like any food inside of my body or whatever. So that was the thing. After the CT scan, I got the okay to get the procedure, and the procedure was scary. So let me walk you through what they did. I mean, they obviously put me to sleep, so I don't know how they did it, but they were talking me through it and what they were going to do. You know, I got there, they told me to disrobe, so I removed all my clothes, put on the little gown thing. The anesthesia, they ended up giving me in through my veins. They put some anesthesia, they injected a tube in my vein, and basically that injects anesthesia, and I knock out instantly. All I remember was that like during preparation, the surgeon was talking to me about like what they were going to do, and so basically what they did, I initially thought they were gonna like, so here's my nuts, right? I thought they were gonna like cut open my nuts and then take the testicle out, but actually they ended up cutting me like right here. They ended up cutting me right here because apparently the testicle is connected to a couple of tubes that come up from here. And so what they needed to do is that they wanted to cut me up here, remove the tubes from in here, and then pull the testicle out. They actually cut me open like right above my penis and like a couple of inches under my belly button. So just above where my penis would hang, you know? Try to get this visual, right? Oh yeah, DPD's penis. But anyways, yeah, they cut me open like right there. Then they cut I don't know what the tubes were called, but they cut the tubes and then they pulled my my testicle out. Yeah, they sewed me shut after that, and it was weird. Like I remember laying down on the operating table with all these lights, and I looked to the left of me, and there were like all these instruments on a table that they're gonna use on me, and I'm like, oh no. And yeah, I just felt like a really cold liquid, like they were rubbing a really cold liquid like on my my infected area. After that, they like push this lever or something for the anesthesia to come in me, and I knocked out like in 2 seconds. Then, you know, a couple hours later, I woke up, and I was feeling so nauseous. They told me not to eat anything. So before you go to the surgery, you're not supposed to eat anything like past midnight. And I had my surgery at like 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. and I couldn't eat anything at midnight, and then I couldn't drink, not even water. I couldn't drink anything like I think after 9 o'clock. So I had to have my body completely empty. And so I woke up and I was so hungry. I felt so weak. So I asked for a bottle of water and I drank it, and I immediately like yacked it out. I threw up everything. So yeah, it's going to be tough. If you go through the surgery or whatever, is like the moment you wake up, you're gonna feel nauseous. You're gonna forget a couple of things. You can't walk, obviously. So they told me for the first couple of days, I couldn't eat anything too heavy or whatever, because I'd feel nauseous. They injected me with a lot of painkillers and all these things, and yeah, my stomach was like rejecting all the foods in the first couple of hours, and then later on towards the end of the day, I was started feeling a little better. I got a couple of solids in, and then it took me like maybe 2 days before I could like eat normally. And then in terms of like walking or the pain, I was in pain for a good like maybe 15-16 days, like a little under 3 weeks. As of right now, today is the end of my 3rd week. So today, as I record this, is my 3rd week, and I'm feeling much better. So it's been 21 days, but like for the first 2 weeks and a couple of days, it was really tough. Like I still feel a sharp pain coming. Like it would be very random, but overall feeling much better. Yeah, the first week was terrible. I could barely walk. I was limping. You know, I looked like I got F'd in the A. but it was pretty bad. But now I'm good now. I'm good now. So yeah, I do have like a small scar underneath my belly button. They did a really good job cutting me open because like the scar isn't that bad. But yeah, I'm pretty much healed up. I'm not like 100%, but I could say like I'm probably like 90-ish%. I won't be 100% for like another like couple of weeks. I'm feeling very, very good. Sorry, I apologize for everyone who's been, looking forward to my streams or any videos lately. Please understand that I was trying to heal. The doctor told me not to do too many crazy activities or don't get too stressed or anything. And so I decided just to kind of take a small vacation from life, really, and work. And so I just took this time to watch a couple of anime and movies that I've been meaning to watch. I was reading up on some physics because why not? So I've been kind of relaxing lately. And yeah, it was some good time off. I actually have my very first convention this weekend since COVID happened. So I'm really excited to finally travel again and to shoot videos. So I'm looking forward to that. For everyone, for all the messages I got on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, all the texts, all the calls, everyone who was worried about me, and it means a lot. Thank you so much. These last couple of months or weeks have been very scary for me, and I pulled through. I had a lot of support, and it means a lot. It means a lot to see that a lot of people care about me and wish me good health and everything. So thank you everyone who've been very supportive. I really appreciate everyone who reached out to me. And yeah, so I hope this video helps somebody out there who's been going through the same thing or is scared or whatever. This was my experience going through it. It is currently out of my body. I'm still getting monitored by the hospital though, in case it comes back. Cancers could come back and just reappear out of nowhere. So, cross your fingers and hope that this cancer is permanently out of me forever. I don't want to go through this again, and it's scary. It's scary. But yeah, so thank you all. I am in good health right now, and I appreciate you all. Hope to see you guys soon, and I'll be making content again starting today. I'm hoping to make more stuff and be more active. So yeah, got the okay from the doctor. It's good to start working again, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care. Peace.